What is going on, everyone? I want to talk about this guy, a former NFL player that was accused of staging a racially motivated crime against his business. When I first saw this, and how people immediately did not buy this story, pretty much, he was busted and arrested for this. This brother, his name is, I believe it's Edon Kaufman. Okay. He's 31. Owned a business. And you would think that somebody who was able to play in the NFL, was able to start his own business, is a guy who has some common sense. But obviously this guy doesn't. And this is going to be the top news story of the day, which I will be posting on this channel frequently. So make sure you like this video and hit the notification bell. So the former NFL, and this is according to Fox17.com. So the former NFL player turned Georgia businessman is accused of staging a racially motivated burglary. Gwinnett County Police report. Police responded to a crime in progress call at the Create and Bake restaurant and Kaufman's Creamery in Lawrenceville last week. The calls stated that there was a suspect damaging the business. The caller told police that the man was driving a black Chevrolet Silverado with no license plate. Again, not very intelligent, unless he removed it in order to stage this particular situation. Police responded to the area and found the vehicle driven by Edon Lewis Kaufman, owner of the store. In the bed of the truck, officers found several televisions with brackets still attached in drywall. Investigators then examined Kaufman's store, finding several graffiti words and symbols, which included hate symbols and MAGA sprayed across the inside. Let me tell you something, man. First off, the one way to not look like Juicy Smollett is to not copy his same, MO. Why would you put MAGA there? There is nobody in their right mind who is going to believe that somebody is going to put MAGA while trying to say that, hey, I don't like African Americans. Like, come on, man, seriously. MAGA, let me tell you something, man. You can tell these guys is not as intelligent as you think. Okay, not only you have this guy stealing from his own business, but you also have him spraying MAGA. That lets you know these guys know nothing about politics and society, and how the media pushes this narrative that MAGA is a hate word when it really isn't. People may have their opinions about the term "Make America Great Again," but for the most part, what criminal who's trying to get away, is gonna take the time to put MAGA? Come on, man. Would he leave a MAGA hat behind? Did he put vote for Trump in 2020? Like, come on, man. God, these guys are not that bright. Or they're just socially maybe their social intelligence is very low. Because if you're trying to commit a crime, you're not going to follow the same MO as Juicy Smollett. You're just not. Officers have found a damaged surveillance system, broken mirrors / both cushions, and a door to the business with yellow pry marks. Police say Kaufman, who's 31, stated he had noticed the theft and damage but never called 911, although he did call his insurance company. A warrant to search Kaufman's truck was issued and the police found a yellow crowbar and cans of black spray paint. Investigators believe Edon staged the scene to file a claim with his insurance company and sell off appliances and electronics which were not damaged. Of course, because again, he's stealing his own products to sell and he wants an insurance check. It looks to me like the business was failing. And because the business was failing, he was looking for a way out. That's how it seems. He was looking for a way out. And he wanted to basically go the ignorant route of saying, hey, the people, the MAGA supporters did it. The MAGA supporters came here and did this to my business, even though you're probably in a majority, black community, maybe, who knows? If you're in Lawrenceville, maybe you know what part of town this is in. But I think that when the police got there, and then maybe they know this guy, and they say, man, this guy's lying his ass off, man. This guy, he's not telling the truth here. I bet they wanted to laugh when they seen how this guy just basically botched this whole situation, which is what he did. According to transaction reports, Kaufman played in the NFL as an offensive lineman with the Redskins, Cardinals, Cowboys, Bills, and others. He is now facing charges of false report of a crime, insurance fraud, and concealing a license plate. This is not good for this guy. It's not good for you, bro. This was very ignorant, and it just shows that a lot of these guys like him have a very low social IQ. He botched this whole thing from the beginning. Who puts MAGA on the wall? Like, first off, how would they know that it's a black-owned business? I mean, you could say, well, it was a former employee that knew about him, that didn't like him. But this is, bro, this is very stupid. It really is. But you're doing it for the money. But again, this damages a lot of melanated people socially. It does. People are laughing at us right now. I want y'all to understand, when they read stuff like this, they laugh at it because they think it's funny when they see us do this to ourselves, make a complete fool of ourselves, or people who are melanated in some capacity, like Juicy Smollett. You had a lot of people in the mainstream media who thought that, other melanated people were going to support Juicy, but that never really materialized, and they went at black people before that. But we as black people know when other black people are lying. Okay, we know that they are trying a little too hard. And once again, you have a guy who's using the Trump supporter narrative in order to push this, which again, you're kicking a hornet's nest, because now you're going to have all of these conservative content creators. You're going to have conservatives on social media. They're going to use this against a lot of us. Unfortunately, I'm not saying it's right. What I'm saying is it's going to use the whole, Caucasian people don't like black people narrative. They're going to be able to say, hey, well, look at this guy pretending that this was done to him. And that is why we have to call this behavior out. This is why I'm doing this video. Okay? We have to stop being ignorant and understand the political landscape of today. Trump ain't the biggest issue that is going on. And what happens is you have people who will use the term MAGA and try to say, hey, it's a symbol of discrimination, when really it's not. There are plenty of other symbols of discrimination. And for this guy who clearly, is on Twitter way too much. He's on social media. He's probably trolling other celebrities who don't have the same opinion as him. He went with a narrative that completely made him look bad. Now this guy is in a situation where he may have messed up big time. This is a situation where he has messed up big time, and he has nobody but himself to blame. There's no system of oppression that made this guy do what he did. He did it on his own, and he needs to be held accountable. This is a guy who needs to be held accountable, and I don't want to see people defending this guy. This guy is a moron. This is the type of guy who this is the type of guy who always looks for excuses for their behavior in other people. And also, he's a manipulator. He's a guy who tried to manipulate the insurance company to pay him money. But what he doesn't understand is there are consequences to actions. There are people going to do their research. These insurance companies are not out here trying to cut checks willy-nilly. They were going to do investigations. They were going to make sure they had all their I's dotted and their T's crossed. This farce wouldn't have went on that much longer. But see, people like this guy doesn't understand that. Okay, because socially, they don't understand the landscape of society. They really don't. And that's why he's out here looking bad out here. You know, it didn't take that long for them to figure out this guy was lying, that this guy was not being truthful. And I think that we as a melanated community of people who are listening to me, because I do have a large amount of melanated people who listen to me, we have to be able to call these behaviors out. We can't we can't give people a pass just because they look like us, because the image of the community is everything. That's how you gain respect. You know, this guy was trying to scam the insurance company and ended up getting himself in a lot more trouble. And he was going to use his skin tone in order to do it. This guy cooked up a scheme to say, hey, I'm going to do all of this to my business. I'm going to sell off the electronics of my business because we ain't making no money and I got to come up with something. But the way to get yourself caught up is by using the race card. If he would never have used the race card, he probably wouldn't have gotten caught, because it would have been a lot more difficult for them to pinpoint it, you know, because when you're doing a crime that you're claiming is against you because of how you look, you know, when you try to perpetrate a fraud that it's because of how I look, you narrow your pool of people who may have done something to you. Because you say, okay, people, it had to be Caucasian people, can't be no black people, because of look at what they put. They put MAGA. Black people don't support Donald Trump, you know. But again, these guys don't think, and that's why this guy's in the situation that he's in. And you brothers need to understand that. And you need to get politically educated, because if you don't, you're going to be in situations where you're blaming people, or you may be attempting to do something as stupid as this. I hope not, and end up looking worse in the long run.